Hello all.
Afternoon everybody, hope you're all well. I was trying to welcome Bandit back into the group by asking him to give us a rendition of Glory, Glory Man United.
Oh, is that what you're
That's what
trying
I
to
was trying to do. I was trying to say, Bandit, give the lads a quick song while they wait. Glory, Glory Man United seems appropriate. Nice win for Man United against the city rivals at the
Is
weekend.
that what happened? Oh, okay.
Big 2-1 victory. Bandit, I know, will be doing cartwheels in the front living room.
Nice. Yeah, welcome in everybody.
Okay, let's give everyone a little chance to get caught up. Okay.
I'm trying to think if we could tell people what we're up to this morning, but we
What
can't.
were we up to?
We were reviewing embargoed product.
Yeah, a little update on the swings.
Oh yeah, sorry, we can talk about
started
that.
our day with a little swing update. We've got our little roll cam 3.
Cam 3, there's lots of footage on here. I won't translate well, but anyway, we had this going. Got some different angles of the swing. We both talked through how practice has been going. Talked about what we're still struggling with and just sort of how it will progress.
Yeah.
I think the next step is to see Scott again, obviously.
Yep. I think
Get a
that's
little check-in.
planned for start of February. He's here this week. He goes to Orlando at the start of next week. He's speaking on Monday night at one of the teaching.
Is he there while we're there?
Just one, like he's literally
in and out.
He's in and
Okay.
out. He's in, and then he's heading to San Diego for Torrey Pines.
Nice.
He's got a couple of his players are playing at Torrey.
Very good.
Yeah, so we've got some golf, and then we'll see him when we get back.
Which will be good. I mean, obviously we won't repeat too much because you guys are getting a full video this week talking about it. But we sort of just kind of simplified, I guess, the drills that we're doing. I know, obviously, like Scott is a super smart guy, and some of the language kind of zipped over some people's heads, which is understandable.
Yeah.
So we kind of simplified it a little bit, broke it down to how does he get warm up. What are the drills he does to feel the motion he wants to feel? What's that look like in practice? Then we switched. I kind of showed how I warm up, what drills do I like to do. Talked about what I'm still struggling with. Like I'm still hitting a big pull with anything that is a mid to long iron.
Yep.
Oddly, the woods and driver are okay. And the wedges feel really good. Like I hit some nice wedges, it felt like.
Yeah, done some wedge testing earlier. You hit
some wedge testing earlier. So I would say, I mean, it's easy to say, but it feels like you're probably a little more golf course ready. I think I'm going to be losing a few balls, but whatever. We're going to play golf for fun. The only thing I would say is if I can get a handle on that pull miss, then I think I'll gain a little bit of confidence. It's just right now the backswing feels pretty good, and then it's like I just don't have the confidence to swing through the ball. So you'll see that in the video, guys. Probably, I don't remember what day. I wish I literally need to keep a schedule.
There's a lot going on right now.
In the old days, it was like we'd sit here after filming and be like, when do you want to release that? When do you want to release that? And I'd just be like, we'll do it Tuesday. But now we are a little bit more organized, so forgive us, but I don't remember what day. But you'll see it soon. So that's what we were up to this morning. Reviewed 2 products that are embargoed, so we can't tell you which they are. They're a set of irons.
Products, both actually with some kind of center gravity stories.
Yes, good center gravity stories. Different. A
And
set of wedges and a set of irons.
Yeah, and the one other product we've got to review is another.
That's true.
CG location, lots of adjustability.
We're going to the putter studio for those of you that have missed the putter studio. We haven't made a putter. I don't think I made a putter video since I've been back.
No, we haven't.
So that'll be good.
Yeah.
This one, I agree with you. It's the irons we reviewed are something the industry has never really seen.
Yeah.
The putter, as far as I can tell, is something the industry's never seen. So 2 interesting ones. So yeah, lots going on. We got a nice turnout. Why don't we get into some questions?
Let's get into some. The first question which caught my eye was AML992.
Right at the start.
Right at the start, Bob McIntyre playing a TSI
saw that.
3.
Saw that, yeah. What shaft was in there? Yeah, I saw he had some lead tape or something on the heel.
I'm not sure what he had, but it does make
Bobby
sense
boy.
considering they were ready to give you the left-handed Stealth 2 before they gave it to him.
That's so true. Totally forgot.
Right?
Yeah, the standard Stealth 2 was kind of earmarked for Bobby.
The idea was they're like, well,
don't let Matt hit it, but
It might actually have more impact if Matt hits it than if Bob McIntyre hits it.
Clearly, Bob doesn't want to hit it.
No. I think somebody knew something was in the horizon with some change, perhaps.
Maybe.
But
how's he doing? How's his stats and everything? Is he
I think
okay?
he made a change to his swing coach. He left my good friend David Burns, and he's working with a new guy. I think it took him a little bit of time, but I think he's seen some good results. He was playing last week in Abu Dhabi in a team event.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I didn't know that was.
I didn't see much
is that a brand new thing?
Yeah,
I saw a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I turned it on and was like, "What am I watching here?" But
it was somewhat kind of. That was an old event called the Seve Trophy.
Oh, that's what that is.
GB&I versus Continental Europe. So
Hero came in and kind of refreshed it a bit.
Yeah, and it didn't go down too well. I mean, ultimately, Seve, you touch anything with with his name on it, and feel like you discredit it a little bit. It's never going to go well with.
So were people pissed it wasn't called the Seve Trophy?
Don't know. Maybe there wasn't any nod. I don't know if there was. Maybe eventually they had a little nod to Seve or whatever within it. Maybe they did, but I didn't watch it. So
that might have been missing. I was watching the golf in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Siwoo Kim.
Siwoo Kim played great bunker.
Win.
So it's 2 years in a row. So last year Matsuyama hits the most ridiculous 3-wood on earth to like a foot.
Mm-hmm.
And Siwoo's shot wasn't as crazy, but he was in the fairway bunker, hits a crazy long iron, chases up on the green, has an eagle putt, 2 putts and wins. So
Beautiful.
2 years in a row, it's good, like right down to the wire, 18th hole golf.
Awesome.
All right, let's get into it.
I'm going to go right down to we'll get that one there.
Okay. Do you want to go down there now? Was that just came in?
Yeah, just came in.
Who's that from?
That was from Cole. Cole has a stealth 9 degree with 155 ball speed, carrying 265 at 3200 spin. Diamana DF 50 stiff that was fitted. Better shaft or head recommendation.
There he is.
Hits up on it 2 degrees during the fit. Fitter like my numbers, but hated the spin numbers. Interesting. To me, Cole, the biggest thing there that looks like if you are hitting up at 2 degrees with those types of numbers, I would say strike location is probably your biggest enemy there.
Probably low?
Probably
or
too
heel?
low in the head. Yep. So strike location can be directly related to shaft for sure. So you may want to go a little bit heavier than the 50 DF that's in it. Trying to can obviously find that a little bit lower part in the head. So I would definitely explore. Normally my answer is head is the culprit for spin.
Right.
But this seems like you're doing a nice job with your delivery. I just think you need to find a different part of the head. So
good point.
Yeah, I'd explore different shafts for that.
Lovely. From Bernard. Bernard says, he's got an Arcos question. That's good. How to use Arcos distances, carry versus total. So, for example, Arcos smart distance, 3-wood is 240. Need 230 to carry bunker. Okay, so the yardage that it lists, is it carry or is it total?
Total. It's got to be total.
So it is total.
Yeah, it's got to be.
So Bernard, you would need to get on a launch monitor or some other means of knowing what your carry is to know what, for example, if you need 230 to carry the bunkers. So yes, it's total distance is listed. So you would need to, even if you booked a TrackMan session for an hour at a local like indoor facility, or go see a pro and say, hey, I just want to gap my distances, find out how far you carry it. Because you might carry it to 22 and 18 yards a roll, who knows, right? Good to know. It's a great question, actually.
Definitely.
Because just because you have 240 to a green doesn't mean you've got the right club in your hand. Because if there's 3 bunkers in front of it, you might be just totally screwing yourself, right?
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Still in the preamble. You tell me when you got one.
I've got one just down at the bottom here. See a couple of supers came in. Austin, first working at Golf Town, noticed the new Kylie shafts are in the majority of driver brands. What do these shafts compare to?
Question.
Yeah, Austin, the Kylies are the real deal Kylies as well. If you look down at the bottom, the tip section, look for MR70. That's kind of what you want to see. It's a bit like on the Ventus line saying Velocore.
Yeah,
yep. Same sort of thing. That's a nod to the materials inside there. Kylie White is your very typical whiteboard or Ventus Black type profile. Ventus Blue is the same as Kylie Blue, and Kylie Red is the same as Ventus Red. So you can kind of see some similarities there. So most shafts have kind of that, stiff tip, low launch, mid tip, or mid stiffness, kind of mid launch, and tip soft, high launch options. So you can kind of take something from everyone's line, really.
Good point.
And compare it that way. The only one that might be more complicated would be Graphite Design. They don't tend to release a new Ventus line and have three different Ventus. They have a new QC.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
One per year.
Yeah.
Yep. All the Cobra stuff has Kylie in it, right? At least the stuff we got sent.
Yeah, blue in the
white.
standard head and white in the LS head. Yeah.
Good stuff. From Philip. Philip says he landed a G430 Max 10.5 and he shafted up with the Ventus Black 6X. Previously, he played the 9-degree G4 25 LST. His launch is up 4 degrees and totals up 20 yards. Was I previously misfit? Maybe the, we saw that the Max actually wasn't super high spin, so maybe the extra launch is obviously getting the ball up in the air fast, and the spin is being regulated, and maybe you are getting 20 yards. I mean, it's not unbelievable. It seems a little unlikely, but I don't know. Maybe just was hitting it too low with this guy.
I agree with exactly what you said. Seems unlikely, but who knows? I mean, when I tested, back in the kind of the fall, autumn for our UK friends.
No one says fall.
No one says fall. No one. No.
Like literally, they'd be like, "What are you talking about?"
Like, you've embarrassed yourself. The Max was my preference. Yeah, and I'm always in the low spin version of whatever head is out there. So I couldn't do anything with the LST. I was no good with it. But the Max I loved. It was kind of one of those ones that was right out the wrapper. Pretty cold from maybe just hit a couple of irons beforehand, and then hit some drivers, and ball speeds was right into a nice zone. So
nice. They might have a bit of a unicorn situation with that Max this year.
Definitely.
How's the weather in Toronto?
Cold.
It sucks. It's cold. It's minus something.
It rhymes with bright, and it starts with S.
It's poo.
It's no
It was
good.
rainy and crap the last 2 weeks, and now it's snowy and cold. We're looking forward to getting the hell out of here. All right.
Good. Brian is asking, why no reviews on the Cobra LTD X fairway woods, or did I miss that? Yeah, I don't know if we did review those last year. I don't think we did.
I don't recall doing it.
No.
Well, you got new ones now. We did the Aerojets, so watch that.
Yeah.
Terrible answer. It's just not what he's looking for at all.
True.
Yeah, I don't think we ever did it. Any particular reason? Probably not.
No.
I didn't love them though, to be honest. I think the new ones are way nicer.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us liked the way that LTDX sat the fairways. I don't remember looking at them like, can we test these?
No.
Whereas this year the LS, for example, even the standard, you were going to build a couple up for yourself.
Quite liked it.
Of the Aerojet. I think you put those down, you go, yeah, I could play with that.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
maybe that's why we never reviewed them, but we're sure as hell not going to do it now because it's not current product.
Mr. John King got fit at TXG for T100s with X100s this summer and loves them.
Lovely.
What would the most logical wedge shaft to transition into be? John, I think most people would say to you the S400 would be the nice softer and just a couple of grams heavier, but would give you a little bit more feel from the wedges. So I'll happily, if you want, follow up with your fitter. I'll look in the system and get your fitter to follow up with you if that's something you'd like to get ordered up, or feel free to send an email, again today, and we can kind of get that sorted for you, John.
Nice.
Make sure those are matched up for you for swing weight and all the variables.
All the important stuff. Yeah. Very nice. Yep, new TSR hybrids were announced. Saw some posts. They look good. Yep, look good. I'm not entirely sure when we will be getting our testing heads, but I'm sure soon if they're not already here. This Titleist is very good to us, so I'm sure we'll be doing a review of those pretty soon. TSR 2 and the TSR 3 I saw were announced. So
Does TXG Calgary location offer putter fittings with Quintic technology? Currently, no. Yes, it will. It absolutely will. We're waiting to get the platform out there.
Sweet.
That is high in the priority list for us to get done.
Cool. Chris is asking, what kind of carry boost do you see on Foresight with lower spin shots with the driver? It's a good question, Chris. We tested it.
Depends.
We tested a couple examples, and I think I saw 10 yards, 15 yards over TrackMan a few times when I spun it at like 1700. So depends on your speed. If you're swinging, if you're hitting 300 plus yard drives and you spin them in the high teens, then you might see 10 to 15 extra yards. That's what we saw. So
Definitely.
it's not like the 40 yards that some maniacs seem to think it is. It's 15-ish at times.
Totally.
But if you're hitting at 240, I don't know how much of a low spin boost Foresight's giving people. Maybe it's a percentage, right? So it might only be like 5 yards. I don't even know if it's worth worrying about.
It's not. It isn't. It's not worth worrying about from a standpoint that it's apples for apples. Club to club, and the fitters all know how to negate any of that sort of stuff.
They'll tell you, hey, that's not the best ball flight there, a little knuckly. Yeah.
All of our guys certainly know that.
Yeah.
I want to give some love and a shout out to our boys in Calgary because I have seen about 3 or 4 comments here saying I had a great fit with the Calgary boys. David, I saw one earlier from Tim, and I saw 3 of them for sure.
Good.
Switching to Ventus Blue TR and Balloon Hybrid, waiting for the Callaway Apex MBs to come in to see if we swap out from the X7s to the X7s from KBS Tour V. So yeah, big shout out to the boys.
Is it just the 2 lads there?
David and Tim, boys are doing a great job.
Holding it down?
Yeah, we're just trying to get them as much new product. Obviously, they opened the store out there in October with kind of 2022 product. It's a bit late in the year. It's definitely trickier, so we're excited to kind of load the boys up with the good stuff. The good new gear.
Absolutely. It makes a big difference.
Going. It definitely does.
Yeah, absolutely. From Zero. Any new Scotty Camerons coming out? There will be.
Yes, not Zero.
Not Zero line. There will be a new line. I don't know when it comes out, but we have been told. Yeah, I don't remember. I think it's end of this month or end of next month.
I think we'll definitely, probably. In the PGA show, there'll probably be something coming.
We'll be able to see it. Yeah, if we can just take pictures of it, we will do so.
Yes. Brian has got a question about the Rad XD with a Drago 65X. Oh geez, where are we going here? To the LTD-X with LS with a Ventus Blue TR60X.
Okay.
Love the feel, but struggling with left and right now. Okay, so went from that into that.
Yeah. Surprised, because
Love
most
the
people,
feel, but
most
struggle
people go
with
into the
left.
LTD, they have an easier time.
Yeah, for sure. Any tips for me and coach to try increasing swing weight?
I wouldn't imagine the head weights would be much different.
No.
Maybe you get along with the Drago more than the Ventus Blue.
I mean, different heads, right? The Rad XD is obviously higher MOI. LTD XLS is lower MOI.
Good point. That might be it there too.
That might be playing a big part of that. So maybe your distance was up and in the fit it was good, Brian, and obviously that can turn the head of a lot of people when they go, wow, I'd love 15, 20 extra yards. But then you get it out there. One thing, guys, I think you're seeing, it's quite interesting. I've consumed more driver reviews from other channels this year than ever before, and I've watched people test drivers and talk about, they're going this way and that way, and they're hitting it all over the place. That's why you have a fitting matrix.
Yes.
We have 110 driver shafts in the wall. We've got well over 50 driver heads in the drawers for you to try.
Lofts of each one.
Every individual one. We're talking grip sizes. I just do not know how you guys are able to get any performance out of a stock club these days. I just don't.
I don't see how you would.
Too many variables.
Way too many.
It's way too many variables. So
I think you made a good point here, because the XD head from Cobra for the last number of years has always been a super straight club. Hasn't been the longest because it spins a bit more and the ball speed's a bit lower. But like straightness factor, we used to laugh like doing the bracket, like the whatever the hell one. I was always, I think the Speed Zone X was like so stupid straight. It didn't win because it was a little spinny, but that might be what Brian's noticing, is that he's hitting the LS further, but it's just not as straight. Wouldn't be a shocking result, would it?
Our pal John Jensen always comes in with a super chat for the lads. Always greatly
Thanks, John.
Received, John. Thank you. San Diego weather is still rainy and cold. Which KBS iron shaft would be stiff and firm at both ends, soft in the middle? Would the KBS S taper or S light fit this profile? It kind of would, John. I think. I was thinking S taper really in terms of the profile. So I guess it would be more of just what weight category do you want to go into? Do you want to go into the S taper, which is kind of more in the mid to heavy category? Obviously, S taper light is in the lighter options. I'm actually playing a set of KBS S tapers myself.
Is that what you have in the
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, they're really and I really like them. So. I would say in terms of being stiff in the handle and stiff in the tip section, they are stiffer in the tip section than Tours. The KBS Tour, get bollocked at if I get this wrong, but I feel like a KBS Tour would be slightly stiffer in the handle than an S taper, but definitely stiffer in the tip. So between those two, you definitely want to find a little bit of testing to be done with those. Maybe even drop in and see the guys.
That's right.
At the KBS Experience, John.
That would probably be a great idea. Where was that exactly?
Go and see the boys. It's in Carlsbad, isn't it?
Was it Carlsbad?
10 minutes from the Kingdom.
Right.
We drove up there to grab a sandwich.
It's a great facility.
Yeah, so
we got a free tour.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, pop up and see the guys at the KBS Experience in Carlsbad.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Cool.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, let's see what's going on. Lots of questions today.
Yep. From Ryan here.
Yep.
Ryan says, for someone swinging driver at about 110 miles an hour, 3 to 4 up on GC3, what would be ideal ball speed, launch, spin, and peak? Okay. So what's the optimal ball flight? 110 club head speed, 3 to 4 up. What do you like to see?
Your ball speed is going to be about 158 to 160.
Yep.
Your launch ideally should be about 13, spin rate about 2300. Peak height should be in and around 105 feet.
There you go, Ryan.
There you go, Ryan.
Write those numbers down. If your fitter doesn't give them to you, go somewhere else.
Okay. Jason is thinking of hitting more 3-woods off the tee, adding a bomber driver. Suggestions on how and where to start. The fitting bay is where to start, and the fitting bay is where to end. Make sure you get in there. Yeah, I mean, the bomber driver is going to be the highest ball speed, high launch, extremely low spin. That's your bomber conditions.
Yep.
The 3-wood, that is going to be your kind of 2-wood, if you want to even call it that. I think that's something like a TSR 2 Plus, that type of a fairway wood with a slightly larger profile. It comes in 13 degrees with a loft sleeve that can be tuned up and down, so really 12.25 all the way up to 14.5. That type of thing, Jason, is what you're going to want to try. I've dabbled with a lot of that myself the TaylorMade Rocket model and things like that. So, but do it under the supervision of a fitter who has good technology and a load of different head and shaft options.
Makes sense. Here's a quick, easy one. What is the best way to increase swing weight on a putter?
Best way, easiest way, lead tape.
Yeah,
it's going to be nice and easy. I'm not a huge one for going with lighter grips and stuff like that on putter. I like weight in the handle. I like you to have weight, where your kind of feel is your highest. Degree of feel is going to be through the mitts. So
some putters have adjustable weights. If you happen to have one of those, I guess that's your best weight kit. But lead tape is probably
definitely,
unfortunately, what most people will have to do.
Chris is saying, thanks for answering my question on the Foresight boost. Had a curious one on GC3 last week. 105 swing speed, 158 ball, 2000 spin, 4.5 up. Carry seemed high. No, that carry would not be high. I mean, we don't have the launch numbers there, Chris, but
I'm assuming you launched at like 14.
Yeah, I mean, at 158 ball speed, you can absolutely be carrying it to 280. Yeah, no.
Just a very
no issue at all.
optimized.
Yeah.
If you had have spun it at 1700, sure, but I don't think it messes up at 2000 plus. I don't think.
Yeah, no.
You just bombed that one.
Yeah. Andy Muir, my man. Ian, I heard you're opening a place in Hillington, Glasgow. Any truth to this? Yes and no, Andy. Not me personally, but my nearest and dearest friend, Joseph Hughes, is opening our Club Champion store in Glasgow and Hillington. It will be open, I believe, later this week.
Where's Hillington?
Hillington is right next to Glasgow Airport.
Oh, okay.
It's really accessible. It's brilliant. M8 is the main motorway.
Oh, I see that there. Yeah.
Nice. Large shopping centre there, Braehead. Lots of concerts and stuff used to be there. I don't know if they still do. But yeah, Andy, that is where it's going to be. I'm actually going to do a post later today. I was there over Christmas, done some little videos while I was inside there and got caught up with Joseph. So Joseph and Dane are going to be your two fitters at the Glasgow location, guys.
Nice.
So, obviously we've got Golf Principles down in the south, which is brilliant, down in Basingstoke, just south of London. They have a new location opening in Crawley for customers in the south of England. And then Joe and the team up in Glasgow for the Scotland location.
That's awesome.
It's great.
It's good that it's close to the airport.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah. It'll be good when we go visit.
It will. It will be home base. Golf simulator videos. Are we going to the PJ show next week?
We are.
We are.
We're leaving on Saturday.
Yep. No sunscreens coming with me.
I'll bring something.
Scorched.
In case you turn into a Red Lobster, I'll be, but no, you'll be scorched.
Yeah, well,
You'll be scorched by Sunday afternoon. You'll be just baked. I can tell.
Yeah. And hopefully brune as a berry by the Wednesday.
Yeah, demo day, just doing the rounds. Just
Demo
sun.
day's normally windburn, isn't it?
That's
Remember,
true.
We've had some rough weather at demo day. But
Well, we made our appointment with Chris Vachal at Mizuno, and he
Yeah.
said, like, hopefully the weather isn't like what it was last time we saw him. Remember how bad that was?
no, I'm preparing for that weather this time. I'm actually going to bring. Well, we've got a good look at the weather. Looks okay, but
The temperature's warm.
Yeah.
But yeah, you might want to pull over extra.
Yeah.
A couple extra. It might not be shorts and t-shirt, but what can you do?
Be fine.
Tom says he was fit a couple years ago by yourself.
Hey, Tom.
Around 105 miles an hour club head speed.
Oh, Tom's at a boost.
Yeah, good for you. Up to 112, but swing is pretty much the same otherwise. Is it wise to just go to a stiffer version of the same shaft, or does he need a total refit? Good question.
Yeah, it's a good question, Tom. I mean,
Good for you for keeping your delivery the same. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not easy to do.
definitely. I would say, and I've kind of made a similar journey to you, Tom. I think I've went from about 105 up to the kind of 110, 112 kind of territory, and in and around that. And I've always really kind of changed shafts, to be honest, depending on the needs at that time.
Not
Strike
just went to X.
locations.
You didn't just go to X.
No.
Yeah,
no.
you switched it up.
And it can also depend where your speed comes from. You can get speed from lots of different places.
Good point.
You can get it from hand speed. You can get it from more vertical force.
You can get it from a
more
massive
lateral
sway
force.
like someone this channel does.
It's worked pretty well for you, lad.
It hasn't failed me.
No.
Hasn't failed me.
So Tom, please, if you want to get in contact, I'm happy to look at some numbers with you, pal. You've already been through the process with me, so happy to do that with you. You've got my email, so shoot me a little email, and you and I can have a little chat on that one.
Sweet.
No problem.
Awesome. Okay, what have I got here? What do I got here? Yeah, John's saying he didn't know about the KBS experience. Neither did we. We went to get
No.
a sandwich, and then we saw this
Like,
gorgeous store.
look at
The heck
that.
is that?
Yeah. David, I believe, was,
yeah, I think so.
was the lad who showed us round.
He's a very nice guy, good fitter.
Really
obviously.
nice, really nice. They've got universal connector pieces,
Yep.
same as us. So
It's a huge store
it's,
too.
it's a huge store.
massive.
Yeah, so you can try pretty much, KBS products with any head.
Then they had the woods as well.
yeah.
They had all the new woods,
Yep.
I think.
Yes.
Okay, we should take this because I think I know the answer.
Okay.
Do you think the Strixon, it's a ZX5 LS driver, has a chance to be a sleeper this year?
Yeah.
I would say yes.
It's It's not going to be a sleeper once our video comes out.
I know. Yeah, our video will be out.
Awaken the giant within, as
Well,
Tony Robbins would say.
As somebody says, yeah. About a week today, you'll see our review, and yeah, it was a sleeper. Absolutely. We weren't expecting to see some of the numbers we got, so it'll be one to watch.
And I think the beauty of it is we kind of done the fascinating part of the test was with Mikey Boy.
Yeah, that was
so
wild.
in and around his club head speed at kind of the 100-mile-an-hour territory. So that's going to capture a lot of the audience in there. So I think guys, definitely look out for that Strix on Driver video. I think it will be an eye opener for lots of people as to how CG location can impact your fit, and again, another reason why, how dare you buy off the shelf.
I know. I think also people will see one of the 3 heads and see themselves. I honestly think Strixon's worth a look this year. Wherever you go get fit, make sure they carry Strixon, and you guys have a full complement of it here this year, more so than you've ever had. You're going to have all the heads this year.
We will. This is awesome. Cooper Trooper. I love the name because I used to love Mario Kart.
Who didn't? I still do.
Yeah. Tom's story is my fear. Working on speed this winter, but don't want to ruin my fit with Ian. Haha. I'll just stay slow because of that, not because I'm lazy.
Good for you.
Good for you.
That's like Xander Schauffele after he hurt his back. He's like, I should have just stayed fat. Why did I go to the gym? Hurt myself.
I know. A bunch of supers to grab. Chase Wood. Gents, how's the year treated you so far? Good.
Good so far.
Yeah, good so far. I think
it's very young, the year.
The year's very young. We're a couple of weeks in, barely, and we've had a shed load of content coming out.
Ever. And it's not slowing down either.
It's not slowing down. We're off the show, and everything is in motion for a great season.
The swing thing, I think, is exciting for both of us.
Yeah, they were enjoying.
I mean, we love new product, but I also think that we're both very obsessed with improving.
We
are.
We definitely
hopefully, you guys like the swing video we made today. I think it's a little bit. It's a bit more raw.
Yeah.
A little bit more behind the scenesy with the camera angles and stuff. So I think so far this year, I'm very optimistic about how the year's going to go. That's for sure.
Too. Definitely. So second part for Jace's thoughts on the 923 Tour versus the Cobra CB size and feel differences.
Okay.
You've not seen 923 Tour yet?
I have not.
No.
I don't think it comes in lefty.
No, you're right.
All I can tell you is the Cobra CB feels really good.
Yeah. I would say that the CB is fractionally larger, Chase.
Is it really?
Yeah, a little bit larger. And then the Tour, feel is going to be really premium by both companies. So I don't think you'd have a real kind of preference or a dislike for one over the other. I just think you'll see some maybe some slight roundness to the Cobra, where you might see some sharper lines on the Mizuno.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Let's see.
Jonathan Lopez, you sent a super in, but I don't see a question. Just if you didn't put your question in with the super, just throw it in the regular chat.
Do that.
We will grab it. Can we get this follow-up here? Follow-up from Brian.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, follow-up from Brian. We were talking drivers.
Yep. So
Cobra drivers. So he was fit, a club champion for both. Good. Dispersion is greatly improved. Finding the center of the club face. Okay. Oh, Brian, what was your original question?
it was about the XD and the LTD-X.
Okay.
I thought Brian.
I thought you were doing better before.
Yeah, I thought that as well. Maybe we got it the wrong way around. I thought you were saying you were doing well with the XD, and now you're hitting it left and right.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was. Follow up from
maybe left to right.
Dispersion is greatly improved. Finding the center. Maybe that left to right. Yeah.
Maybe not left and right. Maybe it was left to right. Struggle with turning XD over. Maybe that's what it is.
Do you know what's funny? That little LTD XLS. It was, and we talked about this a lot in Carlsbad with the guys, but like when you push CG forward and make a driver a low spin driver, inherently it becomes a fade bias driver.
And that's why they have the weight in the heel.
Yeah. So, but that driver, for some reason, that LTDX was really easy to turn over.
Did you think so?
It was so easy to draw. So
why.
you could kind of get a double whammy of it was low spin, high ball speed, and fast closure rate.
Yeah.
So again, it just in the fit, you need to kind of know your demo matrix inside and out to obviously know that that's what it's going to be.
Good point.
But no, sounds like you're positive, Brian. I mean, again, if there's another, please don't. You don't need to do another super. We appreciate what you've already contributed on that. But if you've got another, maybe like a question to it,
Fire it in there.
Yeah, fire it in there and we'll grab it. We'll look out for it.
Chico's asking, any recommendations on a black putter shaft for a Scotty Jet Set Newport 2?
Well, you can get, there's definitely blacked out steel shafts you can get. You can go Stability Tour, the blackout version, which I love.
Super fancy, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to get fancy. That one feels really nice. It's a touch softer than the original one as well, and it's a slightly narrower outside diameter, so it looks a little bit more subtle. I really like that one.
Nice.
There's another one, BLC2 as...
where's your question also?
I don't know.
Okay, if you haven't already, put it in near the end and we will grab it.
Mr. Ian Carter is asking, where would you send a lefty to get fitted in Europe, Ian? Europe, as in continental Europe, outside of the UK, Ian, is that maybe where you mean? Because if all of the Europe is in play, I'm sending you to either Golf Principles in England or Club Champion in Scotland. Those are our two partner brands. They carry the same demo matrix as us. Foresight are in the Golf Principles locations. They use GC Quad. Trackman are in Club Champion Glasgow. So
gotcha.
Maybe let us know if you're talking about all of Europe or continental Europe, excluding GB and I.
Gotcha. I'm not entirely sure about this answer. When is the new Mizuno stuff releasing? I have a feeling that a lot of it's coming out during the PGA show. Wouldn't it be?
Yes, I believe so.
Woods, wedges, irons, a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah.
So probably the next couple of weeks, Tom.
John was just another one there saying, I'm in the 90 to 100 gram range for shafts.
Okay.
Really appreciate
They
the
have some stuff for
suggestions.
that.
Yeah, they definitely will have some tea on me tomorrow.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John. Might not even wait till tomorrow.
No, I'm sure you won't. You probably won't even make another hour.
Yeah, no, I'm struggling. I'm parched. I would say, John, you're in the S-taper light territory there for sure. Yeah, I'd definitely try that. And maybe even giving some of the players graphite an option. The PGI stuff. That might be worth a little try as well, just to see how that kind of suits you, whether from a build perspective. I'm not sure if you play your clubs longer or whatever your kind of preferences are for the specs, but go in and see Dave and the guys at the KBS Experience, and you'll have every option you could ever dream of, and probably a few that you never even knew existed.
It's true, yeah.
I saw they got in some limited edition like rainbow finish shafts the other day.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a steel shaft, so this kind of rainbow finish on
That's
it, which
cool.
for people who like to jazz their clubs up would be right in the wheelhouse.
Plenty of people that do.
Yep.
Okay, one here from Building Skyscrapers. Driver is 280 plus on a launch monitor, but only 255 to 260 on the course. Fitted for a TSI 3 with a Graphite Design TP6X in 2020. 106 club head speed, 158 ball, 270 carry. I think what we're really talking about here is what occurs when you go on a golf course versus what occurs in the bay. And I can tell you, me personally, I swing slower on the golf course.
I do 100%.
And I probably strike the ball a little lower in the face sometimes too. So you obviously have a very good delivery here. All this is great.
Yeah.
But when it comes to playing golf, most people swing a bit slower on the course, a little more tentative.
Yep.
Your strike point might change, so I wouldn't worry about your driver. Your driver fitting looks great. Maybe just work on your routine, try to get more of those, ideal shots out of it. But no one swings the same. Launch monitors are look at all the long drive guys. They don't even put ball flight up on the screen.
Yeah.
They put ball speed and club head speed on giant tiles, and they just swing as hard as they can.
Totally.
And if they went to the golf course, they wouldn't swing that fast. So.
Yeah, and the other thing is the shot after shot after shot. So even I find
the warm-in.
Yeah, when we do on a Thursday night, we play our little winter league, and I notice even indoor, just in the sort of cadence of a round when someone else is playing and then it's this one's turn and that. I'm not as quick as I normally am, even within that, because I'm not hitting shot after shot after shot. So
makes a huge difference.
It does.
You sit and hit 40 drivers, you're gonna peak on speed for sure.
Marcus is asking for an early indication as to what our favourite driver of the year is. Stealth 2 Plus, Paradigm, etc., etc. What do we like? What do you see that you like?
I liked Paradigm. I liked the Triple Diamond Paradigm quite a bit. I liked the Cobra. I liked the Cobra, just the standard Aerojet. I also liked the LS. It's not Stealth's fault or TaylorMade's fault. I just don't tend to hit TaylorMade drivers all that well, but I will give it a little bit more of a go. But yeah, I think Cobra and Callaway both made a really, really nice driver so far. They're the ones that I kind of have my eye on.
Yeah.
If I don't end up in a Titleist driver, which wouldn't be a shock because obviously their line is great.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep, indeed. I think it's kind of a bit TBD right now. I mean, I think lots
right?
of love out there for the Callaway stuff.
They have spent so much money on marketing. It is
Crazy.
unbelievable. You can't
Crazy.
if you're on watching Golf Channel, you can't go 10 minutes without seeing it.
It's got the imagination. It really has. I mean, if you look at the impact that they're having in people's opinion, and I'm seeing polls that everyone's doing. Who are you interested in trying this year? It's almost like it's Callaway versus the field right now. Like I think 50+% are interested in what Callaway are, and then the rest divide up the other. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm gonna get this because Jonathan sent a super chat that we never got. So, okay, Jonathan says he needs help. You're in the right place,
Jonathan.
So your fast club head speed 119 on average. You hit 8 to 9 degrees up. That's a lot.
Yeah.
16 to 18 degrees of launch is very high. Can't get delivered loft below 20.
Yeah.
Any suggestions? This driver is lofted down all the way. It's starting to be more of a swing thing, I guess, Jonathan.
Yeah, it's a swing thing, pal. It's
would be a good drill for that.
I mean, you're going to want to do a couple of different things. You're going to want to make sure you're getting your weight back to your left side. So something where. Something potentially where, Jonathan, you maybe take a tee and maybe like 8 to 10 inches behind the golf ball. I'm stealing this one from Cowks.
Yeah, is it a Cowks one?
Yeah, and you put a tee in the ground, because if your low point is, if you're 8 to 10 degrees up on it, or 8 to 9 degrees up on it, you're bottoming out several inches behind behind the ball. So if you pop a tee or some kind of obstacle,
so that's your ball. You're saying throw the obstacle here.
Exactly.
So the club needs to descend.
You will be traveling downward with the club. You'll bottom out there. Then you'll be on the rise 3-4 degrees and that'll take care of the dynamic loft as well.
But this stops it from being 9 degrees up.
Correct. So Jonathan, your spin loft is really nice. Between where your angle of attack and your dynamic loft is. So you're kind of hitting. High launch.
Probably hitting it really far.
Yeah, potentially. But you might at times be also, because the club is working up so much, that the rate of rotation could be extremely high. You could be hitting it far into the junk.
Been there.
So I'd try and get that
That's a good drill.
down to 3-4 degrees. Yeah, something just behind the golf ball, maybe 8 inches or so behind the ball, and make sure your golf club is traveling over that on its way towards impact. That
even like
really
a rolled up towel or something?
Yeah, something like that would be good as
Head
well.
cover? Something you don't mind whacking, basically, right?
Yeah, you just don't want to bottom out too soon, effectively.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Kenneth is saying there's a new UST
Mamiya
putter shaft.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting in on that, aren't they?
They are. Yeah.
Why not,
We're going
right?
to see some stuff in the show. I think that's going to be
interesting
in that territory. Guys, apologies. I feel like we're not getting to nearly as many of your standard questions. There's just so many supers coming in, and we have a thing about we just don't miss supers. You guys.
Please don't think you have to send supers by any means.
I saw them kind of flooding in. You
don't have to say that.
You don't have to,
but we don't want to waste your money.
Yeah, and we'll try and maybe we'll do like a clear up the rest of the supers, and then we'll do a speed round, try and get through a bunch.
Okay, let's do that. From Brian. Brian, speaking of not having to do this, Brian says, thanks for the feedback. Coffee on me. Thank you.
Tea and coffee.
We're going to order one right after this. Yeah. I was struggling with...
Don't chocolate croissant.
I've actually been eating really clean. Didn't I tell you my sweaters aren't fitting? Weren't you listening?
You did.
I'm telling Ian I have to go up in size for our next order, and he's offering me croissant. He's the devil. Brian says he was struggling with controlling face closure. Yeah, losing balls to the left. I've gone back to 2. I get it. Yeah,
Right.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's basically saying, I want a one-way miss.
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense, Brian. I mean, that might be something you want to. The two-way miss could come from having too low spin. I mean, if your new driver is really low spin, and you're trying to save it at times, you heal some of them, or you turn some of them over. Maybe loft up. Maybe try lofting up your driver and seeing if that regulates your miss a bit, or work with an instructor that picks kind of a direction, right? Pick a fade pattern or pick a draw pattern.
Yeah, I always look at it like if somebody's got a two-way miss, I look at their pattern, their swing delivery, and I go, okay, what is the swing trying to achieve? If the club is moving into out 4 degrees, the face has a reasonable closure rate, I think for the most part that player is going to have some degree of right to left shape for a right-handed golfer. If they're out to in 4 degrees, the likelihood is they're going to have some fade bias. So if that's the case, we try and cater more towards the dominant pattern. So I would say, Brian, are you more likely to be an in-to-out player and draw the ball? If that's the case, you need to make sure all the other things are in proper alignment. Your strike point is center to toe. That's going to help you create that right to left ball flight and ensure that it does that. So you want to build some security around your delivery pattern. That's really what club fitting is. It's building security around your delivery pattern.
Makes sense.
So establishing what you are first, then go, okay, let's lean into that. And also go and practice with some intention when you go to the driving range and not just stand up there kind of hitting balls. Be looking to see, standing behind it, see your shot, go through your pre-shot routine and really work into the feel. Allow your brain to kind of give the hands the right message with what you need them to do in terms of shot shape.
Yeah, good point. Here's the Miss Super that we had from earlier from BLC.
Awesome.
He says, so my fitter was a man of few words, and I was fit into Fujikura Speeder Evolution 7569 for my driver. Oh, he just wants to know about the shaft.
Yeah.
So what are the characteristics of that shaft?
So Speeder Evo 7 is going to be high 50s in gram weight. You're looking at, it's kind of almost like I don't even like designating kind of like ball flight, but it would be a mid-launch, mid-spin kind of shaft, not overly stiff, not overly soft. There's been so many of those Speeder evolutions. There was a tour spec version. The number 2, Evolution 2, was more tip stiff. Evolution 3 was quite tip soft. So they've chopped and changed over the years, but I think you would probably find it's a pretty neutral shaft. So any of the Ventus Blues, or maybe not Ventus Blue, it's still pretty tip stiff, but the Kylie Blues and those types of mid trajectory models, BLC2 is probably going to be what you're kind of looking at. You can go into the Fuji website and look at kind of how the butt, mid, and tip section. They have the measurements of those tip flexes, those shaft flexes in those 3 sections, and you can compare them against others. But it's a good shaft. Yeah. It's a very, very good shaft. We were just doing so much Ventus that we just stopped carrying the Speeder line, and NX kind of overtook it. And when you've got 7 models within a Speeder line, people get confused, as you obviously are, in terms of what they all do. So I think the Speeder NX was a nice departure for us to be more definitive with what these shafts do.
The NX. Okay, let's go through these supers. And you're right, we'll do a little speed round to finish.
Yeah.
Luke.
Enjoy the PJ show. Thank you, Luke.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah. Playing a G410 LST driver, love it. Swing speed 116. Is there much gains with the new stuff? And what Ventus should I try in a fit? I think the likelihood is you're playing an LST driver, you're playing a low spin driver. The likelihood is blue and black, TR blue and black potentially, even worth trying. Look, is there anything worth looking at? There's always going to be trade-offs a little bit with ping. Head weight's a little bit heavier, so there might be some speed gains to be had with some of the other models. Whether it's Paradigm Triple Diamond, whether it's TSR3. You're in the territory of, I would say, it's well worth having a look.
It's been enough time.
It's been enough time.
Right.
Yep. To have a look and see if there's something else.
Even maybe a Ping, because Ping's new 430
yeah,
LSD is really nice.
Plug and play.
Yep. Derek says, speaking of G430s, says, what do you think about the forgiveness of the new G430 Max versus the TRS2, which is what I'm using right now? TRS2 is very forgiving.
Yeah.
Is it as forgiving as something like a G430 Max? I don't know.
I would say twofold no. One, MOI is likely to be lower.
Yeah.
Two, when you have the adjustability of the weight
good
system on
point.
the Max,
Good point.
that you can kind of boost forgiveness. It's not really an MOI boost from an MOI perspective, purely on that measurement, but it is a stabilizer, being able to match a strike with either one of those 3 strike locations. So I would say G430 Max is still the daddy when it comes
thing.
to
Yeah. I think
forgiveness.
it'll be the king of forgiveness for many years to come.
Definitely.
Okay, let's fire through these, because then Marcus just wants to say thanks. Thanks, Marcus.
You're
Not
welcome,
necessary,
my
but
friend.
thank you.
Yeah.
Bobby, I play the Ventus Black 7X in, Cobra LTD XLS 5.5 lofted to 4.
Yep.
Struggle with too much spin. You swing in the 130s. Okay, here we go. God, I don't know what you could possibly do. A 4-degree driver.
I mean, Bobby, get super focused on your impact location. That's really going to do it for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're obviously playing with a low enough driver loft that the loft and the spin loft, subsequent spin loft, is not your issue here. It's going to be spin loft is twofold, and in 2 dimensions it is the angle of attack and dynamic loft. In 3 dimensions, it's also the factor of are you leaving the face open relative to the path. So if we look at the D plane, we'd also want to look at that. So I would say low hanging fruit would be strike location, making sure that you are hitting it, center line. If you get in quad, make sure you're in around that red line. And even if you can stray upper toe a little bit, 5 millimeters toe, 5 millimeters up is always a really nice spot to hit it if you're looking for that bomber draw.
Yeah, true.
That would be really, really nice. So
Yeah.
I would say focus more on that if you're getting, no roll and too much spin.
Yeah. I mean, equipment-wise, what else could you do with that, right?
Yeah, not much.
Yeah.
Not much.
Sean's got a Miura question for you.
Mayura-san.
He says he needs feedback. He's playing the 201s now. How would you compare the head size and shape of the KM700s to your 201s and now 502s? And also, what was the deciding factor on the 502s?
I mean, I think the KM700 is a nice, interesting looking model of iron. I would never play them personally, and as a huge Miura fan. The 201s are gorgeous. I absolutely love them. The 502s are spectacular. For me, it's the pre-worn leading edge on the 201s and the 502s that I'm in love with.
Right.
I think the shaping of the 502s is just a dream. And actually, for me, I like the fact that they were a hair stronger in lofting than normal blades. Yeah, the 629. So normally blades are 30 or 31. So I kind of really like the idea of having a little bit of a kind of stronger flight. I certainly don't spin it too high, but I also don't spin it too low. So I certainly had a little bit to gain, and I don't always love losing too much yardage.
No, who does?
By going with blades. So that's
Who
what I
does?
loved about them. They are gorgeous.
They are a good-looking set. Okay, from Christian. Main differences between Modus 120X and Project X LZ 6.5 in overall stiffness, bend profile, etc.
Yeah, I mean you're really you're in a shaft designed with similar ideas in mind. So stiffer tip section, stiffer butt section, and a softer mid section. That's kind of what you're looking at with both. So not really. The biggest difference is you're going to find LZ is a little bit heavier. There's 5 grams of weight difference in the LZ 125 versus the Modus 120X is at 120. But other than that, guys, I'm going to lean you towards one of them. I just think that Modus 120X is the GOAT, is the 120 gram GOAT. I really do.
It is a good shaft.
Yeah, really, really good shaft. LZ is good as well, but there's no doubt about it. I mean, in terms of sets that I've built since both of those shafts came out, I mean, it would be a significant amount of mode as 120X versus LZs.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, Chase says, just thought I'd say I love the swing change videos. Thanks, Chase. They're very well done. Scott is awesome. He is. And Chase loves the technical nitty-gritty details, which Scott definitely gives. How can I find out more about the swing patterns?
Yeah.
Good question, because that's what Scott mentioned, the different patterns and variations. Would you need to take one of his teaching courses?
I mean, the best way, Chase, if you just want to kind of improve your knowledge on swing, etc., is the Scott Couch Certified program. I think there's 8 versions of it now. So
yes, he's up to 8.
Yeah, you can see him in different environments, whether it's with us, you can see him live. He does a lot of speaking events. He does a lot of in-person swing clinics, especially in the US. He's out. I know he's out in the West Coast a fair bit in LA throughout February and sometimes in March. So I'd just say DM Scott on Instagram. He was saying yesterday he's had a ton of sort of new followers and people engaging with him for online lessons as well, which is brilliant. So
glad we had someone to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. Something we're getting a lot of value.
I know,
so
that's
nice
what I was thinking. Yeah,
give a little something back. So
good.
He said that's been awesome. So yeah, guys, reach out to Scott. He's a brilliant and generous guy with his time, and not that he's going to fix your golf games over the internet for free, but you certainly pick his brain at certain times, and he's available for online lessons.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Justin just has a quick question. He says, "Will outdoor fittings be resumed in the spring?"
Yes,
Sweet.
Can't wait.
Same location.
Same location up at the pulpit.
Sweet.
Can't wait.
A new one here. And guys, hold off on any new questions. We're just going to wrap up in the next 3 minutes. So thank you for participating. I'm sorry if we didn't get to your question, but it's been a busy one, which is good. Any recommendations on a higher performing blade? I've been playing MP5 since they came out. KBS, what the heck is that? CTL 115?
Maybe the flighted sets.
Not sure.
Oh, C-Taper Light.
Yeah. Can't hit anything as good as these, but he's interested in the Proto C blade. Yeah, so the guy who's got MP5s, that's obviously a fairly old model.
Yeah.
What in the blade realm is going to offer you more performance? I mean, it really just comes from different head shaping, different material use.
Yeah.
That might get you a little more pop, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, that's a Proto concept. I mean, we'll see Rick Kennedy next week down at the show, but
has he got a set of those?
He plays the blade.
Does
Proto concept blades with the titanium rod. And,
right.
Yeah, he absolutely loves them. So
did they launch the ball a little easier because of that? Titanium.
Yeah, titanium,
I thought you were going to say tungsten.
I know that's the one.
That's what I heard is tungsten.
Well, because no one really does put.
Yeah.
So basically, what that titanium rod does, and Mizuno done this back with MP59, was they put a titanium pad behind the center. Titanium being a lighter material than what's around it, moves the mass to the outside, which increases MOI. So having that titanium bar through the middle basically effectively increases the moment of inertia by having heavier mass around the sweet spot.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I think there's a little bit more, there's definitely a little bit more, forgiveness in something like a Proto concept blade. I think one to look at, and I just love the look of them, is actually that new Strixon forged iron.
Good looking blade.
That new blade is gorgeous. I think they're definitely a little bit more forgiving than most.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of shaping at the back, don't they?
They do.
Okay, last 2 questions. Coming up from Cole. Is Miura updating the CB301 or 401 at all this year?
Haven't heard of anything.
Unlikely, right? They don't do stuff that often. Where's Mikey? Mikey's working today. He is in Mississauga.
Crack the whip in the
cracking the whip. He's doing some corporate work.
We have a new team member starting today, so it was important that Mikey boy was down there to kind of be there to onboard and help. So
yeah, he's busy.
Yeah, he is a busy lad.
But he's coming down to the show with us, so you'll see plenty of Mikey. Logan wants to know, can I explain here or do a video explaining the TaylorMade loft seat sleeve setting. I've watched multiple videos and they really don't explain it in depth.
Actually, I think, understanding loft sleeves is a video.
Yeah,
topic
we've talked
yeah.
about that for a while.
Yeah, I think we can do that one at one
Okay,
point.
Logan, we can do that for a few. Well, we do it for the major.
I think we can get through, more than just one. So if you're playing like one of the many drivers, what is a Titleist versus a Callaway versus a TaylorMade versus a Ping, etc. So we can probably break them into categories, whether they're single or double axis loft sleeves,
right?
How they affect, face angle. Does it actually move loft, or is it just moving the face angle into a position where loft will be applied correctly at impact?
Yep.
So we can definitely do that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That will go on the list there, Logan. Thank you for the inspiration.
Yes.
And with that, we have just hit 1 hour.
Right on the nose.
Good live today, guys.
That was a great live today, guys.
Busy.
I wish we could get through more questions, but it was just so many supers came in. I've never seen
that many.
That was an hour worth of super
Never
chats.
feel like you guys have to do that.
I know,
that's for sure. We
and
definitely take questions
we
without
appreciate
it,
and stuff like that. Yeah.
We do make sure to get them because, as we said, we don't want people wasting their money.
Without a doubt. Great to see Bandito back in town.
I've seen a bunch of people we haven't seen in a
Bandito.
while. Rob Coates is in here. I saw just tons of names.
I think Dave Fogel was
Dave
in
was
there.
here.
I didn't see Austin in there.
I don't think I saw him either. But
Who else of the usual suspects? Golf 007, the SD2 is
Yep.
always in there.
good to see. And good turnout. Last couple lives have been well over 600 guys, which is great.
It's great.
That's a
It
great,
really is great.
number for us.
Yeah.
So keep telling your friends to join us every Monday,
Yes.
usually either noon or 1 p.m.
Absolutely.
So
And subscribe to the channel. We
And
want
you
you.
might as well
we want you in on the journey with us.
Yes, please.
Subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications so you can get all the videos when we're at the PGA show. I would say February for me. I know when we do the launch videos, it's really exciting stuff, but we're kind of telling you a little bit of what's in the marketing sheet, right? It's not really.
It's not in depth.
And we don't get. We like it, but we don't get that excited about it. What we get excited about is when we get a chance to test it, when we get a chance to get it in and go,
Change
didn't
shafts
realise that,
and all that kind of
head
stuff.
done that, or look at the difference with here, look how much this one goes left versus that one goes right, and then we start giving you guys, the nitty gritty. So, if I think if you liked the initial videos on the new product, which it seems like you guys did, the numbers and feedback have been good. February's going to be good.
Yeah, February will be great. We have some plans to get some 3 to 4 generation old heads and compare them to what just came out. So a lot of people ask, like, I've got a 2016 M2. Should I get a Stealth 2? We'll find out.
Yeah. No,
So that'll be some of the stuff we do.
Without a doubt. And it's great. There's a boy, Rob Coates, the mayor's in. Mayor Coates, he's in. Timmy is in the house.
Nice. Oh yeah, Timmy's in.
Timmy's in there all the time. When does the bracket start?
March or April, one of the two.
Yeah,
Can't remember.
somewhere in around that.
When my swing change is settled, I'll start.
Yeah, once we've got to give Matty a little chance to get that.
Well, I gotta have ball
swing,
speeds over 175. But nobody wants to watch a boring bracket, so give me a chance to get in shape and get my swing in shape, and then we'll be wailing away.
There we go.
All right.
As soon as he's back in the medium tops, the bracket will be starting.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I've given up. I'm just going up a size.
Oh,
Oh boy. Okay, guys, thanks for watching.
Okay, see you guys in the live next week, and we'll see you.
Well, we're in PGA show next week,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know if you'll see us next Monday. You probably won't because we're busy.
Highly unlikely next Monday.
If
That
we can
sounds
hop
very
on a
good.
live in an evening one night,
Yeah.
you might see us, but probably won't be a live. Well, there won't be a lunchtime live next week. We'll actually be on a golf course, so you'll see videos every day though, so you won't miss us too much.
Love it.
All right,
Guys, have a great week.
thanks guys.
Cheers.
See ya.